Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Master Race Frankenstein Radio. I'm here with, should I call you Jay or Tree Leader?
You can call me Jay. That works. treeLiter's cool too, you know?
Glad to finally have you on, my brother.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Go ahead and tell the people how we met and tell them about yourself.
All right, well, we met when you went viral, when, if that's even still a thing, right? And, I just kind of hopped on and been learning from you. And, I just feel
From
like
me?
the more the more people that are conversating about what we think is going on, I think is the better.
Amen. Amen. Well, I got to say that there's only one teacher, and that's the Holy Ghost. But what have you been learning, my brother?
Uh, I enjoyed the how you learned Hebrew in the back of the old community service thing. I'm like, oh, I can respect that. It
Yeah,
takes
dude.
it takes a certain type of man or woman, either way, but to decide to do things in certain places, and I enjoyed that. And you taught me much.
Yeah, man, I just saw it as an opportunity. We always have,
Right,
there are opportunities everywhere constantly. It's just a matter of recognizing it
right,
and then taking it.
right, or not ruining it.
Or not ruin. You're right.
That's
I need to
usually what I
set.
that's usually what I do. I'm
Ugh.
classic blow the ship up on the way down.
How do you do that?
Oh, I mean, 20 years of doing opiates, I shouldn't even be alive, right? Maybe not 20 years yet.
Really?
It's been a while,
You
yeah.
don't act like you don't act like an opiate guy.
Right. Oh, that's been my. I'm still on them. I'm on like an eighth of a Suboxone. I take it,
How?
10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. This way, when I don't first wake up, I'm not like a junkie going right to my shit. I try to wake
Yeah.
up and you know what I mean, do my thing, and then when I start feeling a little, it's just like it's like anxiety. I call it your soul coming back to life. Like if I'm dope sick, pardon the term, and I got like a good tune on, I'll get goosebumps from it. But I won't get goosebumps if I'm normal. So it's like I call it my soul coming back. I got to pull the band-aid off at some point, right?
So
But
Suboxone brings your soul back.
no, no, when the opiates are leaving your body, then you're like
Oh.
when you start feeling dope sick, you start feeling shit because you're numbing yourself, for lack of a better way of saying
Okay.
it.
So to clarify, are you prescribed Suboxone?
Yes, all legal. I'm all
Okay.
legal
Good.
now. I'm all legal.
Good, man. And it's for anxiety.
Well, no, I'm saying when you're dope sick, you get anxious when you're coming off the shit. Like it's not pleasant. Like you got to put a gun to my head to get me to stop it. I'm the only way I. Yep, we'll get there.
Well, why you got anxiety?
No, you get anxiety when you're dope sick.
Oh, well, why do you take Suboxone?
Because if I don't, I get dope sick.
Oh shit. Okay, so you're on it because you're coming off of
The Fetty,
Betty. What's that?
fentanyl.
Oh shoot.
Right.
Oh, how'd
Well,
that happen?
well, first it starts with the perks, right? First you start selling weed when you're a kid, right? And then next thing you know, you're working construction and everyone else is doing stuff. So you start selling. Hey, it's I would advise against it, especially nowadays with the surveillance network going on. But that's how it starts. And then the perk 30s and the oxy 80s, and then next thing you're going down the way
Yeah,
doing
man,
bad
I hear you. Well, I'm glad that you're off of
off
that
that
stuff
shit.
and you prescribe that Suboxone. Well, so how do you get off of the Suboxone? What are you gonna do about the dope sickness?
You just got to deal with it. You got to stop being a baby. I got to
Hey,
stop
what
being a
if
baby.
Perito? No moeres.
Yeah, get him. No bueno. How old is he?
He turned 3 months old yesterday.
Oh no, nice.
Hey, look, that's a big boy. Look at a big boy. He's
Yeah.
he's such a pain in the ass. Get
Right.
off of me, Saint.
It's something to do
Uh,
though. If you're bored and you're chasing recreation, a puppy will definitely fill the void.
oh, no kidding. I got him. I had the opportunity. Whenever my wife was here, she wouldn't let me get a dog because she has two dogs, and she
Right.
said she doesn't want another dog until hers die. And then whenever she left, I had the opportunity to have this boy, and I took him.
Jump
And
on it.
Yeah, and he's taught me how to wake up early and
Right.
and and you just get in the groove.
Right.
My wife used to handle the whole house, and I would just wake up and go to work. And now
Right.
St. Felix wakes me up early so I can get chores done.
Take his little ass out.
I hate taking him out because we live like almost 20 feet in the air. And I'm sick of them stairs.
Oh yeah, you're raised up.
Yeah, I gotta be. I'm on the bayou.
Right. You're on the bayou. I got it.
Yeah.
Let me try to turn that
Whenever
light off.
Hurricane Ida came, I had 5 feet of water in my backyard.
Oh, nice.
About home. It was pretty neat. I got in a John boat and went for a cruise around the neighborhood.
Yeah, you can't pass up that opportunity.
Well, hey, have you thought about fasting to try to overcome your sickness?
No, I definitely. I mean, listen, I have ways to get. I mean, usually, uh, I've been on supervision by the state and the county for most of my well for a while. So when they book you, they used to not give you the drugs, but now they just started giving you the drugs. Ain't that crazy? They actually give you the stuff up here now.
What
They
do you
give
mean
you
they give it to
Suboxone in
you?
jail. Isn't that insane? It's like, yeah, I don't listen.
What do you call
Enabling.
it?
They're enabling. Right. So,
Enabling. That's
so I'm
it.
so old. I'm
Well, you're right. If you while you're it's a great opportunity.
right. That's what I'm used to doing. So again, we'll get to that, I guess, some other day. But yeah, I'm used to going in there and just going through it.
Yeah. What you been going? So you've had a wild life, huh? What you been in and out of jail for?
So I guess I've always been a little wild. And then I went to commercial diving school in I think it was 2009, 2008, and down in Jacksonville, Florida. So I got away from the area, but you're running from yourself. I mean, you think you can pull yourself away to get away, but you're the one you're running from.
Commercial diving school?
Yeah, like underwater construction. Like
Okay.
there's a lot of that down your way. Like I don't know how far away you got to go, but Houston, all that stuff is a lot of petroleum industries out there. There's a lot of rigs out there, oil rigs and all
Yeah.
that.
No
So that was
kidding.
my intention, right? Get away, go, work on an oil rig, work 7, 8 months out of the year. But that's not how everything works out. So long story short, I got back from school trying to finish a car because I'm like a car nerd. I like the V Dubs, and I was finishing a car. Met a chick, and I crashed a car. She ended up passing away, and
Oh
I
wow.
I got smoked like 13 months later. They charged me with it. So that was pretty. It still is. It's not. I mean, it's a bad Jawn, but
Yeah.
that's how the spiral, I guess, started. You could say. I mean, I wasn't living right before that, regardless, but that's how it started. Yeah.
Well, how'd you get to the place you're at now, man?
Well, where I'm at right now, my grandpa's house.
Well, not physically. It's ha- you've come a long way. I
Right.
mean, you
Well,
seem every time I talk to you, you seem like you feel with the Holy Spirit.
right. Well, listen, it wasn't me. You know that. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't deserve it, nor did I. You already know. And it, like, I don't even know what to say. I couldn't tell you how many times craziness has happened. Not take take the drugs and the wildness out of the equation. Just so many things. Just that's all it is to
That's
it.
all there is.
I don't know.
It's only people knew.
Yeah.
Let's look at the
Yeah. I'm not
chat
even
real
looking at
quick.
that. I ain't paying
There's
no
some.
attention.
Let me tell you, we're not on my main channel because I got a strike today.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably
So
don't have me on then because you're gonna. I'll get you more
well,
strikes.
well, no, dude, I got a strike for a hate speech violation in a video with no speaking in it. It's just me playing guitar and keyboard.
How'd you get a hate speech, Jawn?
I appealed it, And a few hours later, they came back and they said, "We have carefully reviewed your video and have determined that it is definitely hate speech." So,
A couple notes on a
ow,
guitar.
freaking dog. Hold on. Get down. Abajo. So it was a silly video of me playing guitar and playing a children's keyboard, and the name of it was in German,
That's
and
that's all it
it
takes.
it was in German, and it said real authentic Nazi sounds. And but at the beginning of it, I put a Unicode swastika, and I'm assuming it has to do with the swastika. I don't know. Maybe it's because I said authentic Nazi sound, but it was like making fun of
Right,
Nazis
right. It was what's the word we're
because it's
looking for?
silly. Wait
Right,
till you
yeah.
see it. It's just silly as hell.
Sarcastic humor, dry humor. If you don't think it, yeah, it's over their head.
They punish you for it.
Right. Yeah.
let, let me tell you about this channel to give you some context about this weird chat.
Right. Right.
Um, so this is my first channel that I made. It's called Cloblord 504. I made it like 13 years ago or something.
Oh wow. Nice.
And it's like everything that I have, all the videos that I've made since I was a teenager. I've put here.
You
And
uploaded
but
on here.
I have almost 700 subscribers, but almost all of them come from some old Cash Money Records albums that I posted. And so most of my subs on this channel, they just like the album, then they subscribe. And so I
Right.
don't know who the hell's here.
Who's even watching? Right. That's all good.
Well, this one dude said, "Does he know he's live streaming because we're talking about drugs and all that?"
All right. Yeah, well, it's the
That's
truth.
funny.
I mean, you can't get. Can you get strikes for speaking facts? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, you
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Rhetorical question, right?
Yeah, you can get strikes for speaking nothing at all.
Apparently, yeah, you just did. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I need to figure out where to sit that my freaking dog can't harass me. This guy, wait till he gets freaking bigger. He's 3 months old now. His dad is a Great Dane, so he's gonna get
Yeah, he's
out of hand.
yeah, he's gonna be taller than me probably in 6 months.
Oh, oh, there we go. Ooh.
Yeah, so I went down real quick. I went down the beach just for S and G's, and on the way back, I'm like, let me look at my phone and see what's going on in the world, and it's just nothing good. It's literally doom scrolling. You just got to remove yourself away from it. I mean, you got to learn, but
Yeah, everything's evil.
for real,
We're at a point where people they don't think anymore, they don't create anymore, they just stare at their phones. Dude, hold on. They just stare at their phone, and so if you mass produce evil shit,
you're
then everybody
right.
who's just staring at their phones are going to consume it. And think about what the children of today are going to be like in 15 years. It's
Right.
messed up, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad, and it's like I didn't have a dad growing up. I mean, I know my dad; he's around, but having a bunch of dudes running around that didn't have a dad is not good for society. Trust me.
No. Now I listen to rap music. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy some hip hop now and again, but you know what I'm saying. It's all being done by design. Like the constant degradation of human competency. It's like you can taste it.
Yeah, it's all because of the white man.
Right.
This I know. Malcolm X made it perfectly clear. And I say this in earnest. It's funny. It's not just the white man. It's really no group in particular. I mean, the devil has possessed everybody, and
I
so everyone who is evil, it's easy to point at the group they belong to and ascribe the evil to them. It's so. Have you noticed all the Nazis on my channel?
No, I have not actually, because I don't. I mean, I chase too many tails. I'm like your dog chasing his tail in traffic. I don't work every day. I don't have to pay any bills because I'm milking it off my grandpa at the moment. So I just try to keep myself active. See, I had like a year and a half. I had to walk off of like supervision, and normally that's like a death sentence up here when you have like a bunch of probation time. So I had to like, I'm like a immature child, I should say. I had to like calm down, relax. So now that I'm off all the supervision, I have no money to get my license back. How do I get a job if I can't get me and my tools at a job every day. So it's just, what do you do? You know,
You tell me. What do you do?
right? Well, I'm saying in my situation, I'm saying, it's like I try to get jobs when I can, but it's
Now I feel that, man. I've been struggling with work for like 2 years.
right.
Did you see the video of me? Yeah, you did, smoking the cigarettes, and I mentioned how I got 2 weeks to come up with $3,500, or I'm going to jail for 3 months because of I haven't been paying my child support.
Oh, I didn't get that far into it, but I think I stopped watching it when you're walking down the street at some point. But yeah, I didn't know. So
Oh, dude,
how you gonna come up with 3,500? That's crazy.
I'm not. First of all, um, well so the what do you call it, the big lady behind the desk in the
The,
robe.
the
She
clerk
said
or
the
whatever.
hearing officer or something. I don't know.
Right.
But she said that 2 weeks, 3,500, or 90 days in jail. Then she asked me, "Do you agree with that?" And I said, "No."
Oh,
And so she said, "Okay, well, we're going to schedule a disagreement hearing for the 25th." So I got that on the 25th, and I'm going to go in with as much money. I'm going to give her as much money as I can. Hopefully, I can give her a couple grand, and she's going to tell the judge to please not sit to accept this and not send me to jail, because it's only going to hurt her and our sons more
right,
if I'm
right,
not there.
right.
And then that's what's going to happen. So I
Yeah,
have faith that however the dominoes fall, it's all
right,
God's will, and I'm not going to worry about it.
right. Yeah, you can't do nothing. Yeah, I think if everyone goes there on the same page, unless they're trying to, they don't play no games up here with that. They it's a business up here. It's a farm. There's too many people. Every business up here is just a farm.
Yeah.
So was it
That's how it is
25th?
down here too. It's everything's so corrupt, man. It really impossible to look at the system and imagine that it's there for us to benefit the people.
Right.
It ain't. We're slaves, dude. We're freaking enslaved in this money system, and uh, it's. Have you heard of the Noahide laws?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know, but I'm familiar with the what they mean and such. It's not good.
I mean, people worry about the Noahide laws, and as I see it, we're already living in that. We're already, except that they're not killing anybody,
Right.
or
Right.
are they? Or are they? Because if you look around, everybody's already dead. Everyone's
Right.
dead in their sins,
Right.
and like you were just saying, the state gives you Suboxone when you go to jail and have an opportunity, a
To get off.
state enforced opportunity to get clean, and they say, "Nah, you stay dirty."
Right. Oh, and then so I'll give you another example how crazy it is. So half the time people are cheeking it and trying to sell it. Dude, the amount of junkie activity that goes on there is insane. But I asked for my dose to be lowered because I'm not trying to be on what my prescription is. You know, I don't need
Yeah.
that much. I'm trying to get off it. So I had to like argue with these people. I just sit there and not take it. Like, dude, I'm not taking all that. Like, I don't want all that. And like, you're the only person that's ever wanted less. It's like, well, that's fantastic. I don't want to. I don't even care. But it's they do it like you said for a reason. If everyone's pickled in jail, no one
Yeah.
cares because they're all pickled all the time.
I'm gonna try to put him in the bathroom. Perito, ven aquí. Yeah, get him
That
a
always works.
treat. So how was the beach, man?
It
How
was
was your
pretty rough
day?
out there. My buddy never surfed before, so that was interesting.
Oh shoot, you
Yeah,
surfed?
it's been a while, but it's I grew up skateboarding, so I'm one of those street rats on a wooden
You ever
board.
got any good?
I was never really any good, but I just I would do stairs and ledges, like big things. Not nothing big, but when you're a little kid, it 4 or 5, 6 stairs is pretty big. So
You would do 6 stairs and land it?
I mean, not all the time, but yeah, that was the biggest one I did was 6. But you play on 3 or 4s. I
I
know,
never got no good.
I
I love skateboarding, but I never even learned how to do an ollie. I could hardly do an ollie in motion.
right. It's actually easier rolling than it is standing still, I think.
That I figured out just before I stopped skating, and I was enthusiastic. Like I figured that out, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" I was too afraid to try it in motion.
Right.
Then I did, and I did a little pathetic ollie, but it better, better than I thought I could do.
Right.
But then all my friends quit skating, and then I quit skating.
All right. Yeah, it's you got to stick with it. It's I never got any flip tricks down. I was too much of a baby to trust the board, but I could do pop shove its and little things like that. Like board slides on rails, nothing crazy, just But I was
I
never.
loved Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen was my favorite, and I would probably spend more time doing manuals than anything.
Manuals are fun, dude. They're super fun, especially on nice smooth concrete.
Ooh, they just opened a new skate park over here in my city.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's one not too far from me. That's why I decided to get back on it. Only reason why I still have a board is because what was it, 2014, something like that. I got a bulldog puppy, and I said, yeah, maybe I should get this one to skateboard. Remember all that Rod Deerdeck thing when he had his skateboard and bulldog? I'm like, I want one, but she didn't. She didn't. She didn't take. So I still got the board. I figured I'd put it to use.
Cool.
But yeah, it was good.
I tried bringing my rips.
No, it was a good day though. It was
What
rough out there. It was none of us got up. But it was all right. It's fun. It's fun to try. It's scary, dude.
did you
When you're out there, like, and there's no one around, and like there's just like waves coming, and like you're like, yeah, this is kind of scary. It's scary.
did you hang 10?
Might have hung two.
I didn't hear you. You cut out.
I said I might have hung two.
I don't even know what those words mean. Explain that terminology to me.
Yeah, hang ten is something to do with your toes or something. Your toes up. I don't know
Huh?
either. Yeah, some of your 10 toes up or something like that. I don't even know either, dude. We should argue with the artificial intelligence about history and ask her about 10 toes, 10 toes up.
I don't believe in artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just programming. I agree.
Yeah, so like if it's artificial, then why are we calling it intelligence? If
Right.
it's not intelligence, how do you call something by what it's not? That's
So
confusing.
it's double speak. Did you ever read 1984?
No, I haven't.
Don't even waste your time. It's a terrible book. It's not even worth. But it's
Thank you.
interesting. It is interesting to read them how they phrase things. It's not that bad, but once you start reading history and stuff like that, you can't read stories anymore. You're just wasting your time. Real life is much more interesting to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like all those stories are just about real life. It seems like the books that were written in the last 100 years are just prophecy about the 2000s.
Right. I feel like they know what they're doing with the subversion of cultures and subversion of morals. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they've been at it for a long time. Say, okay, so here's a question: who are they?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the Jews because that's just silly. You know what I mean? Clearly, there's the last 100 years they got some oil money, so they got a little more influence in the world. But before that, it was you know, Rome, Church of Rome, and you had the British Crown and all that. So there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So
I
you
would
had
say it's the same thing. It's still Rome.
right, right. I
This is
concur.
just another incarnation of Rome.
Right, I concur. Right, because I mean, not to go down the rabbit hole, but there's nothing in Tel Aviv. There ain't nothing there but a bunch of joints dancing, pretending to be weirdos. You go to Rome,
Well,
Vatican
here's
City. What do they got there? They got. That's all I'm saying.
and how about the fact that we speak in how do I articulate this? Just our language, our alphabet is Roman.
Right.
We use a Roman alphabet to speak. We don't speak English. I mean, there is no English. English isn't a thing. English is Roman letters
So,
glossed over multiple other languages smushed together.
right. It's you got German. It's a German. English is a Germanic language, but we got French. Right. There's so much French in English. It's like you said. It's not even English. Yeah, language is
English
crazy.
English would be if we used runes and we
Right.
pronounced stuff in but so there have been there was the great vowel shift and there have been consonant shifts. English would be what we had before everything was shifted and the alphabet was replaced. So, like, what? Why not just call it New English? How about
Right,
that? We speak New English, which is not a thing. It's not a thing. If whenever something is new, it's not what it used to be. It's not the same thing.
right. Yeah, they do that with a lot of things. Like even like a transmission in a car. Like once they made them automatic, like it's not even a transmission anymore. Like it's transmitting power from the engine to the wheels, but it's not doesn't have gears anymore. So I mean, I guess you can still call it a transmission, but an automatic transmission when you take it apart looks nothing like a manual transmission. So the only thing it's doing is transmitting power, but it's you know what I'm saying. It's
Well,
all
it's still
crazy.
it has the same function, but it operates differently.
Correct. Right. Correct. So then it's not the same thing, right? If it does the same thing, but it's not made the same way, then it's again. Now I guess we're
I don't know.
arguing.
That's kind of a philosophical question.
Right. Yeah. Now we're arguing semantics and pedantics, right? That's what that is.
I like that. I enjoy that though.
All right. No, real. But you know what's funny? I think some academics that argue about maybe not all academics, but a lot of people that are arguing stuff. Like one person's arguing a semantic point, and the other person's arguing a pedantic point, and they don't even know what the difference of them are. They're just
Well,
they just think
I don't know what is pedantics.
I think cement. One of them is focusing on like the words, right?
That's semantics.
Right, and then the pedantics is like what the words mean or something like that. It's something.
I think. Have you ever noticed that semantics is it sounds like shim antics in Hebrew. You know, you pronounce S as an shim antics.
Right, like a
Shem
sham.
antics. Shem being, descendants of Shem, Semites, and people. They call themselves Jews, and people are in the habit of calling them Jews. But a Jew is someone who worships the King of the Jews. But a semantics, it's a thing.
They've been changing words and meanings so long and so much we don't know which way's up anymore.
We're enchanted. It's witchcraft. People we've been taught by movies and cartoons that witchcraft is a broomstick and
Right,
magic floating in the air and
right,
poof and now something's different.
right.
But that's an abstraction. Is it an abstraction? No. What's the right way? I
I know
hate
what you're saying.
words. Look,
Yes,
words. Too many words. I don't even know how to express myself.
right. That's how I am too, though. My buddy
But
says
it's
you got to write some stuff out sometimes because you got too much. You got too much flapping around in there, so you got to unload some of it.
yeah.
Well, for me at least.
That's I get that from making videos. Videos help with that. I used to write essays like before my old YouTube channel took off. I would come home from work and I would write for hours and hours, and it drove my wife crazy. I wasn't hanging out with my wife. I was just
Right,
because I spend the whole day thinking, and then I come home and I'm like, okay, now
right.
I have to organize my thoughts. And I thought that my thoughts had to be organized, but no, it's way easier and more efficient to just turn the camera on and talk.
Yeah, I do. I shout into the void on my Instagram. I just say whatever I'm feeling. I just let it. Bleh.
Why don't you do it on YouTube?
I tried, but I don't know. I just, I just, I feel like the reason why I do it on Instagram is because the people that are on Instagram are more often than not are the ones that need to hear the information, just because of
You have
what you know. What I mean, so I'm trying to just.
I don't understand that.
I mean, I feel like the crowd of people, not that I know, but like the younger group. I don't know. I just feel like the type of people that are sitting there scrolling Instagram.
Well, you told me that you screaming into the void.
Yeah, I'm screaming in the void, right? So I mean, some people watch it, sure, but I don't get too much. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really check like that. I just kind of say what I have to
How
think,
about
and
TikTok?
it is what it is. No,
Have you done
absolutely not.
TikTok?
Maybe I might have made a video once, like when I was living in South Philly, when I was in Chinatown or something. Just I was trying to find a Japanese washcloth because I'm a Jap and I don't like the loofahs. I don't like the washcloths.
You're a
Yeah, I'm a
Jap,
part
huh?
Jap. Yeah, not the.
I see
Yeah,
it
you can see it.
now. I
Yeah, it's
see it.
there. But so
Well,
I've always had Japanese washcloths. I don't know what they're really called, but it's like a loofah in a washcloth form. So it's just the same material the loofahs are made out of, but it's in a washcloth. So I was going to Chinatown to try to find one, and I found one, by the way. So I was very hyped when I got it. So I had my buddy, videotape me while I was using the washcloth to wash my back. You know what I mean? And then that was before Corona, but I never actually. That was before Corona went down, or COVID, whatever people call it. It was many years ago when I did that. No doubt.
letters, and it says something new. Um, so real quick, there's a Greek word ion, which comes from the Hebrew. Uh, well, it's the same thing in Hebrew, yon, something like that. It means dove in Hebrew, but it means spirit, and that's where the name John comes from.
Okay.
And it means spirit. I mean, think about John the Apostle. Or John the Baptist. He prepares you to receive the Spirit. But anyway, ion refers to logic, to the breath of God. COVID-19, when you spell it out, and if you rearrange the letters, it says ionic end event.
That don't surprise me at all because they're devious with their.
Dude, when I figured that out, my hair stood up and I got scared. And I thought of the scripture where it says, and there will be fear and trembling. And I was there in fear and trembling, seeing
Right. Yeah.
ionic end event. Really makes me wonder, what the hell did they inject
Right.
people
You
with?
didn't get that, did you?
I guess
Yeah, I
no.
went through a lot of shit with
I
my
guess
mom. She's a feminist, whatever they want to call her. You know what I mean? But that was brutal going through that shit. And then like she's just now recognizing that they lie to you on TV. So it's
well, thank God she realizes it.
right.
I have a so I suspect what they inject you with might enable them to influence people remotely. It's just a conspiracy theory of
Right,
mine.
right, right, right. But how do we know? You know
But
what I mean?
I'm
Right.
thinking of my brother. So my brother, he killed himself, or like the day after the Super Bowl. Jared, he had taken the shot and boosters and all that, and he had gotten into stocks, and he had become very learned, and I don't know, it was weird. I don't know, just speculating. I have no idea. I have
Right,
no idea,
right,
but
right, right.
I don't know. I
But
don't know. I feel that my brother he was influenced to kill himself by people on the internet. He used to go to suicide uh and he was a guy who was bringing hope to other people. He did this for several months as he counseled people out of their anxiety and their depression and helped them find hope. And then he got really into these stocks, and like whenever I went and looked at the stuff in his room after he died, it was just information everywhere about what he's learned about stuff, because he made 10 grand during COVID, but he sat on it too long and he lost it. And then he got like pissed off and he's like, okay, I'm gonna master this shit.
right, right,
And then he killed himself. I don't know.
right. Yeah. I never went down the investment rabbit hole. I guess I always had a hunch that there was a lot of flimflammery aloof, but I never had the language nor the experience to verbalize my feelings. But you never know how crazy it was.
Yeah.
You don't know how crazy it is until you see it. Where I got a question. I got a question.
Imagine
Go ahead.
imagine Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you like stand up? Do you ever get into George Carlin all? Like what? Who was a? I guess a good question is who are some guys that got you thinking? Not necessarily, that has to do with just like because I guess you could say I grew up in the secular world. Like I was, baptized Roman Catholic and all that stuff, but I never went to church. I never did that. I didn't read the Bible all the times I've been incarcerated. Never, never even picked it up. I didn't start reading it until about a year and a half ago. All that time I sat, I never read it.
Thanks for asking. I think, and all the people I've talked to, I think you're the first person to ask me a personal question like that.
Oh, nice.
Uh, I love stand up. I've always loved stand up a lot. Um, I love comedy.
Absolutely.
I was secular. Oh, you motherfucker! Look what my dog did to my phone charger.
They love wires, paper, toilet paper, panties, and cell phone chargers. And
Look at it. Look at it. This is a nice freaking phone charger, dude. This is $30. That son of a bitch.
right, yeah, they're gonna yeah, you gotta keep all the wires up. You gotta keep all the remote controls away.
Okay. So I was secular too. Let's see. I grew up being told that I'm Catholic.
Right,
It
just
didn't
like
mean
me.
anything. It didn't mean anything. Why am I Catholic, Mom? Because I said you are. It's just a tradition.
Right.
My dad's not religious. He's like a smart guy. He's very logical, and all that he saw of
That's what it does. That'll do it to you.
help me understand why she left. Just tell me, why did she leave? And would you know it? He didn't. He wouldn't tell me. Uh, God, all I want from you is tell me why she left. And then I
Right.
got mad at God because he didn't tell me what I wanted to know. And then I was friends with this. This is back in MySpace days,
I remember that.
and I I had a friend who I was telling him my troubles, and he's like, "It would help." And then I
Oh,
did.
nice.
So so no, this is so crazy. My dad is so nuts. So my dad bought me the cross, and then a month later he bought me the Satanic Bible. But so I read the Satanic Bible, and I was really into LaVeyan Satanism for years. But I used to love just the secular atheists stand up comedians like David Cross was one of my favorites, and Patton Oswalt. I never got into George Carlin. My
That's
brother
my
liked him.
that's my guy. It's all because of him. He made me the man I am.
It did he? I
I like
think
him
what
and Bill
spoiled him. I think what
George Carlin
spoiled
and
him
Bill
for
Hicks.
me.
I got to saw Carlin before he passed too. I saw him in a little theater right outside of Philly. It was pretty cool.
That is cool. I love
Yeah,
Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks is probably my favorite next to Norm Macdonald.
yeah. It's
Norm's my favorite.
he's a
Bill
funny
Hicks.
he's a funny mother effer too.
Um, but yeah, no. So like the guy that I am today is very much rooted in. I don't know. I just love comedy. I love comedy. I stopped liking comedy as much when I was saved because like tried to start taking myself more seriously.
Right,
But I don't know. I've I went through this like Pharisee thing.
right.
I did a good job at it. I did a really good job, and then eventually, I backslid. But even that's part of
It's what
God's
we do.
plan. God made me brand new, and then He put me back among the sinners. And if you're just like a perfect shiny thing, the sinners don't like you. they feel judged by you. But we're not supposed to be separate from sinners. We're supposed to be with them. We're supposed to be among them and love them. And I'm a salesman. I sold cars for 10 years, and I know the power of rapport, of just identifying with somebody
Right.
and feeling like you're not being judged and that you're friends.
Right.
And it's very powerful. And I don't mean like in a fake way, like a salesman might do, but I learned, dude, selling cars taught me how to be a man.
You're gen-
Really,
you're genuine with the people. I mean,
I was. Not everybody is. A lot of
right.
people aren't.
But I
But
mean,
I grew
when
up.
you're talking to them, you just be genuine. Like, you didn't build the
It's
car. You're just
easy.
you didn't build the thing. You didn't engineer it. You're just telling them what you know, and you're shooting a breeze, telling them what you think they want to hear. Not a bad thing.
Well, a lot of people, think they have to be manipulative so that they can maximize their profit. And you can do that. You can make a lot of money doing that.
Right.
But it don't last. That's called bad business. And bad
Yeah.
business don't last. You
Never
know it's
does.
good business? Taking care of people. And
Right.
don't think about the money, think about how you can help the
Right.
people.
Right.
And then the money's going to happen. That's why
Right.
you're there. That's why you're doing it.
Right.
But if you're genuine and you do it out of love for, your work. So this is, dude, focusing on money just
Not good.
fucks up everything.
Right.
Everything.
All the time.
It's nothing but evil. I built the life that I have now. I guess not that I have now. I built a life in 2021. I made it with money. I bought a house. I bought two cars. I bought a dog. I bought some goats, and I finally made it. 2 months after I bought my house, Hurricane Ida came, and I had a slew of sicknesses that put me out of work for almost 2 months. And 4 months later, the money dried up, and I've filed bankruptcy twice since. In past 2 years, I filed bankruptcy twice. Money can make something beautiful, but it don't make anything stay. Only
No.
Jesus Christ, only Jesus stays. And when you're
Don't.
worried about money, then you can't understand. You
Right.
don't have Jesus.
Right.
Money gets in the way.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I've been very fortunate being up here. There's just so much opportunity. Not so much anymore, but like it was so easy before to make money cash doing stuff. So it was just it was just easier up here in the bigger cities. But it's not the same, dude.
Yeah, I'm not in sales anymore because I would be successful and then I wouldn't be, and that's just the nature of sales. And that's
Right.
why I'm in a situation where I owe my ex 33 grand in alimony, and why the court's coming after me. So I'm just a laborer now,
I,
just trying to have some stability.
right.
And thank God my dad's a contractor, so I'll always have work, and that's what a blessing.
Right. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Hey, you know what? On my bike ride this morning, I saw a contractor dude messing with insulation. Cutting probably the last piece or two on the tailgate of his truck. I was like, hey, you need any help? He's like, can you drywall? I'm like, yeah. So I got his number. We exchanged numbers and stuff. So that'd be cool if I get a phone call.
Dude, right on.
All right.
Well, hey, if you exchange numbers, you follow up with him if you don't hear from him. If he's a contractor, he a busy guy. So holla at him. Say, hey, when you want me to
Right.
come do that drywall?
Right. You got to sweat them. Right.
I
But
mean, be
again,
aggressive. If you need work, go get that work.
right. Well, again, I can't. I owe the money. I owe the what do you call it? The township money or the county money, and I can't get my license back until I get on a payment plan. So how do I get it? So it's like I've been in
Well,
this vicious cycle for several years now, and I got caught driving a couple times. So if I get booked driving again, it's right back to the clink. So I'm trying to be a good boy.
have you asked? Why don't you try asking for community service instead of paying money? Tell them I can't afford it. Please give me community service.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do that tomorrow. I never tried that
That's
one.
what I did. That's what I did, dude. I had got 2 traffic tickets, and they wanted over $500.
Right.
And I went to the court and I said, Judge, I can't pay this. Will you please give me community service? And so instead of $500, he said, do 3 days of litter abatement. And that's why I was in the back of that truck.
Right. Right.
That's why I learned Hebrew, because I
Right. Right.
because I had to do community service.
Yeah, I'm calling. I'll call tomorrow. Every time I try to go to the state representative's office or wherever you got to go to talk to them people, there's no one ever there, ever.
Yeah,
Government, typical government operation.
they don't make nothing easy.
No, right. And I'm a jerk off, and I just say, all right, F it, I'll go figure out something another way. But no, that's cool. You're
Yeah,
top
man.
contractor. That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever the state says, "Give me money," tell them, "Give me community service, please." When it comes to tickets.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I don't think they're going to give me that much community service. I'm probably about halfway of what you owe your wife, what I owe them people.
Yeah.
But if if the only thing holding me back from getting work is being able to drive legally, and I'm willing to do community service to be able to drive legally, then why not?
Yeah. I mean, if you could, if you can do community service for months,
Right?
3, 4, 6 months, is if that's easier than coming up with all that cash.
Why wouldn't I?
I mean,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. See, this was worth it just to do this. Right? Yeah, good idea. And maybe I can
Oh man. So
read while I'm out there. I have a hard time reading on the streets. Part of my lingo,
yeah,
but yeah, I have no problem reading when I'm locked in a concrete box. But out here, I guess there's other stuff to do.
yeah, there is, and reading ain't all that. It really ain't. I hate reading.
I hate it.
The only reason that I read what I did is because you said Jesus say I was saved. Let me clarify what I mean by I was saved. So like I told you, I got that house and all that,
Right,
and so that was in May. By December, the mother of my sons had left me, and in January, she took the boys and moved back across the lake. Let's see. I met another lady. We conceived a baby, and then she put me out of her life. And well, no, 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 I took care of her until right up until a couple months before she gave birth. And then after I saw my baby girl in the hospital, she put me out of her life. I didn't see my baby for the first year. And by December 2020 or November 2022, really right after my daughter was born. Look, my daughter was born on October 29th. 4 weeks, I was selling cars at this time. 4 weeks before she was born, I told my manager I need the 31st off because the 30th and 31st, I want to see my daughter in the hospital. He said, okay. And so I did that. I mean, that's, and you really, the end of the month is a big deal whenever you're in car sales, right? But anyway, I did that. My manager's manager said, "What are you doing? You can't do that. You know you can't take off here." But even though my manager said so, anyway, I got fired. I got fired for going to see my daughter in the hospital with permission.
that's
And
crazy.
then a month later, my
Like something
electricity got.
happened.
What's that?
Sounds like something that would happen to me too.
A month later, my electricity got turned off, and it was off for 6 months. And
I mean,
and
that's
oh, also look, I was driving a car that belonged to the dealership. They
right,
gave me a car to drive, and
right,
so they fired me. Now I don't even have a car,
right.
and so and my power's off. Now I'm just living on my parents' sofa. And I was just so crushed by the whole thing, man. As far as I knew, I was losing my house. I had lost my family twice,
Right.
and I didn't know what to do. And I was just drinking constantly. I wake up and I hit Jaeger and that Crown Vanilla,
Oh, my man.
and
You should go right to it.
bruh, I would wake up and I'd do it in the afternoon and do it in the evening, and I really wouldn't take any breaks, man. It was really bad. And then whenever I was out of liquor, um, my dad was giving me Xanax because I would just, dude, I'd wake up in a panic. I was in
Right.
full panic mode and depressed,
That's
and I,
deep. That's dope
dude.
sick right there. That's dope sick.
Dude, I know that. I know that feeling, man. It was bad.
Yeah,
You
it's
see, he
bad.
was giving me Xanax, and I was just on Xanax all the time. And whenever he ran out of Xanax, I was like, "Well, fuck, I need to get out of this." I didn't want to kill myself, but I didn't want to deal with it. And I went and bought a jar of melatonin, and I would just crush melatonin and wake up at 11 o'clock, 5, 6 I remember I slept through an entire week. I slept through the whole thing from eating melatonin. I couldn't handle my life. Now, I used to think I was this really smart guy.
Right.
I loved learning, and I thought I knew so many things. Well, one of the things I brought to my parents' house was a copy of the New Testament that I had bought at an antique store with one of my exes. I don't even know why I brought it. Well, now I know why I brought it.
Right. Right. In
Yeah,
hindsight,
he told me to bring it, but I had never read it before. At this point, I had been calling myself a Christian for years, but only because I liked the sound of it, not because I knew what it was about. And so one day I'm all down and I walk past it and I see it and I'm like, well, that's something I don't know. Maybe it would make me feel better to learn something new. And so I opened the book, and Jay, it immediately taught me how to think. Immediately, it took me out of my anxiety and my depression because I had these preconceived notions about Jesus. And then I started reading the book, and it's immediately apparent to me that it's full of symbols. And because I'm recognizing symbols and I'm not understanding stuff, now I'm reading a couple of paragraphs, then I'm getting up and I'm walking around just contemplating, like, what the hell does this mean? And I was also eating these THC gummies at the time, and they helped me think. It was like Adderall for me.
right.
I mean,
Right.
THC is Adderall for me. But anyway, so I would walk around for hours thinking about it, and I got to this part where there's a woman comes to his disciples, and she says, "Please help my boy. He's got a demon in him. The demon, it throws him into the water and into the fire, and there's nothing I could do." And Jesus says to him, "How much longer will I have to put up with you?" Because they are his disciples, but they don't listen to him. So he goes and he casts the demon out, and they say, "Whoa, Jesus, how'd you do it?" He said, "If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move,' and it shall move, and nothing will be impossible to you. But a devil such as this can only be cast out through prayer and fasting." And at this point, I had realized already that prayer isn't just speaking into the sky, hoping that God up there is going to hear you. It's thought.
Right.
God is in us, and to pray is to think. That's the power. Is come
Right.
up with solutions and understand. And so all I had left to do is to fast. And you heard me talk about this, I'm sure. Dude, I
Yeah.
fasted for 4 days.
You
It
did
took me
4.
3 weeks to accomplish it. I did four.
Nice.
I did four over a 5 day period. I didn't do four consecutively. But I did 2 days on just water. And on the third day, I cooked some really good vegetable stock. And I drank that throughout the day. And then I water fasted 2 more days. It took
Nice.
me 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks to accomplish it because I would go most of a day and then
Right.
it would hurt too much.
Right. Right. Right.
But you know what I figured out? What I figured out is that whenever I would start to really hurt and have them hunger pangs, I'd go and open up the book because I remember Jesus he talked about the bread of life, that he is the bread of life. And I'm like, okay, well, when I'm hungry, I'm going to eat your words. And so that's what I did. I would get hungry and I'd go read the book. And as I'm thinking about it and reading it, I quit being hungry. And dude, after those 4 days, all of my pain was gone. I was no longer afraid, no longer depressed, but now I was invigorated and I had this energy. And where I used to be worried about my problems, now I just saw solutions. I saw that the things that are hurting me, I can't change them. So yeah, I got to move on and focus on what I can change. And, my dad, he had been he's got 4 acres and he'd been letting it go. And so I was like, okay, I'm not working. I need to fix up this property.
Right.
And so I'm reinvigorated, and I went and I reinvigorated the property, and I made it nice. And then I just felt good, dude, and I felt great all of a sudden. And then I went into and I'm saying all this to tell you why I even bothered with the Hebrew, because like I said, I don't.
But it's necessary there at times.
I mean, when I say I was saved by Jesus, is that I read his words and I followed them, and then my life was changed and I was made into a brand new being. I was dead in my sin, and then he gave me life, and I became logical and peaceful. But so naturally, I go into the churches, every denomination, and I say, "Hey, hallelujah! I've been saved," and I'm excited to be in a Bible study, and I'm reading from the scripture, and I didn't expect the response that I got. People were quiet and doubtful, and they told me that I don't understand. And I'm like, hold up, you don't understand. I'm just giving you my testimony. I'm telling you that how he saved my life, and then I'm just showing you where he says that he'll do it in the book.
Right, right, right.
And they say, Julian, you are a baby in Christ. There is no way that you could possibly know Jesus. I've been a Christian for 20 years. Sometimes it takes a whole lifetime to get to know Jesus. And I'm
Right,
like, dude, these people. And then it just, calls back to Jesus saying, there will be wolves in sheep's clothing, liars and hypocrites.
right.
And I realized quickly that's all these people in these churches.
It's
And,
people in general.
but
I mean, just most
people in
people in
general,
general.
you're right.
Right. It's just that's how we be. And until you see you be like that and you try to change it, you're going to be like that. I know I am. I'm working on it.
Me too. I'm not perfect.
All right.
I was, anyway, I, I was like, how do I meet these people? When they come lying to me, how can I catch them in their lies in front of the whole Bible study? I know I'm going to learn Greek and Hebrew, and I'm going to translate this stuff myself, and I'm going to know absolutely what it's about. And I learned the Greek alphabet and the Hebrew alphabet in the back of that van. Now, I didn't learn these languages fluently, but it's
Right.
not necessary to. It's enough to
You got an
learn the
understanding.
alphabet.
Yeah, you got an
Yeah,
understanding.
it starts with learning the alphabet and then learn the grammar. And then as you're reading the scripture, just look it up in Greek or in Hebrew. And with your knowledge of the alphabet and the grammar, you can translate little bits. You
Right.
can translate big bits. I translated a whole chapter of the whole first, well, maybe not the first chapter, but like a big part of the first chapter of Genesis. And you know what? I never shared that. I never
Oh,
posted that. I
I'll,
really,
let's
I
talk.
really should.
Let's talk about that. So I think
Okay.
it's Genesis 1-2, right? It's I think the Hebrew is tovu vavovu or something like that. Something, and
Uh huh.
there's only two, as far as I know, two locations in the Bible where those words are used, and I'm not sure the other location, but from have you ever heard of Jordan Maxwell before?
Yes.
So I got this from him, and obviously from you, because you two are the only people that really I've listened to that talk about this type of stuff. I did a lot of Jordan Maxwell. I probably got a PhD in,
He's
jokingly.
great.
Yeah, he's a fantastic human being. But anyway, this is where I got this from him. So I think it's Tovu Avovu. But so they say in the beginning there was a void, right, or something, and he's saying
Yeah.
that it was a desolation. Like there were like that's what he's saying. So like I said, this is a few months ago I watched it, but Tovu Lavovu, the second time they use it, it's more along the lines of a desolation and not a void. So in other words, like I'm not saying Hey, I wasn't there, but it's almost like they were. It's like almost like they were. We were starting over again because some shit went down. Because clearly there's much evidence on the planet that a lot of events have gone down, right? That
Yeah,
we're not being fully informed about. So again, I
dude.
wasn't there. I don't know, but when I saw that, I'm like, well, that makes so much more sense to me. Not that I'm any who am I to say what makes sense or not? That's not what I mean. But Jordan Maxwell, he did a
That
very good job of you know
I haven't heard that, but that's so thought provoking, and that makes so much sense to me. And it reminds me of the Norse stories. Now, first of all,
with
if
box sagas, the box sagas or the Oralinda book.
not the Orlinda book, is it the box saga? Just the general mythology. I don't know the
Okay,
names of
yeah,
the
there's so
different
much.
books that they're
There's so
from.
much we weren't taught. But yeah, go ahead.
So let's talk about Elohim real quick. So Elohim created all things, right? And Christians, as they call themselves, they like to argue that Elohim is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Whatever. So when I learned Hebrew, the Hebrew alphabet, El is the original name of the first letter, which is now called Aleph, and it's a drawing of an ox, and it's a symbol of man. We are the ox. We wear the plow. God's plow. Jesus says, "Take on my yoke. My yoke is light." So we're the ox who takes on God's yoke to plow the field. What is the field but us? Adam's made of dirt. We all come from Adam. Dirt is a symbol of us. Jesus said, "Our hearts are hard." What does it mean to plow the field, but to till the hard hearts of the people?
All right.
So our obviously, if Elohim made everything, John, but he is a body of people who are united it by the Holy Spirit. Just like you and me, we got ears, we got
All right.
hands, and we got all these different members. Well, we and other people, we are the different members of Jesus Christ, and we are his body. Now, John 1 says that Jesus Christ was in the beginning and that he made all things. Well, it sounds like he's talking about Elohim. So if the body belongs to God and God is eternal, and Jesus, the Word made flesh, was in the beginning. Well, I mean, I've already said it. It says it there. The flesh was in the beginning, and the body of man has always existed. It is co-eternal with the Logos. So Elohim is Jesus Christ. That's how I see it. Um, does that make sense?
I think they, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. But here's what I was gonna say to that: the the word games. I might be a stickler for the how they play word games. So I maybe because I'm so conspiracy minded, I have a hard time sifting through the sifting through the noise. But I get what you're picking up. I feel like the only thing I heard someone else talk about the Elohim thing was Jordan Maxwell, and he says that can be looked at as being plural too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is. It
Right,
it is the individuals who are God, who
right,
who- so they are Jesus Christ, who was in the
right.
beginning. Elohim is Jesus Christ, which made all things, and so the body of man has always existed. So here's what I'm connecting it to, though, with the Norse story. You know about the Aser and the Veneer?
Yeah, I think I don't know too much, but I remember one dude talking about the Acer and the Saxor stones or something. He was talking about the Acer. I forget the guy's name, but remind me.
So these are the gods in the Norse tradition. The Aser, the singular Aser is plural. The
Okay.
singular of Aser, when you're talking about one god, is Ass. Ass means a god.
Okay.
And the scripture says, Jesus rides into New Jerusalem on the back of an ass. And I mean, this word ass is really all over the place. Actually, when you know, God appears to Moses in the bush, and he says, go tell my people, lead my people out of Egypt. And he says to God, well, they're going to ask who sent me. So what is your name that I can tell them? In Hebrew, it's spelled, I'm going to transliterate it. It's Yeweasr, Normally, you see it transliterated as YHWH. That's a bad transliteration. I only know because I learned the alphabets, but anybody could learn and see right there on the surface.
Right.
YHWH, where we get the word Yahweh, is fake because it's not an H, it's an E. But anyway, this is how I pronounce it. This is what has been revealed to me. This makes sense to me. Yewe, I pronounce as you.
Right. I remember.
ASR,
I
I
remember watching
pronounce
that now. Yeah, I remember watching that now. Yeah, 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 yeah.
you, Asser, you. So if you ask me, I'll tell you that the Norse Asser are right.
Right. That's
Right.
fake. Right. You know what a veneer is, right?
Yeah, so the veneer, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Uh, anyway, through cunning, through witchcraft and sorcery, they teach this to the Asser and totally debauch them, and now they're at war. Now you have the evil gods at war with the good gods, and now they're all mixed up, and that sounds to me like desolation comes after that. So this scene described in Genesis by Maxwell as
Right.
desolation sounds to me like the culmination of the war between the Acer and the Veneer. Whenever they I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. Something went. Listen, something went down, and I think like that. Some people, again, I don't know, right? But some people like to look at it as the beginning of the universe. Hey, maybe that's what it is. But from I guess the last 2 years looking into it, it looks like that's not. Think something went down. You know what I mean? And it was a bad transliteration, purposeful or unpurposeful. We don't know.
That was really thought provoking though. Thanks for sharing that. I'm gonna have to look
Yeah,
at
check
that
it out.
again.
Yeah, look into it. Like I said, the Togu Vavogu thing. Like, there's plenty of YouTube things on there. I think if you dude XV1 is his YouTube channel. He does a really good job of taking Jordan Maxwell clips and putting little PowerPoint presentations behind it to go with what
Ooh,
he's saying.
XB1,
XV1.
XV1.
Yeah, he does a lot of very, very well done Jordan Maxwell clips. Like I enjoy listening to just the whole interviews. I'll put it on when I'm messing around in the garage and just let it go. But sometimes it's nice when I'm actually able to sit down and pay attention. It's nice to see some visual, not just
Yeah.
audio. Because like listen, I can read, but for me to get in a mode to where like I can actually tell you what I'm reading and I can hold it and not just look at the words. It's like I can read, but reading is one thing. Letting it suck in and hold in, you know what I mean? It's sometimes I got to read it a couple times.
Well, yeah. You have to read something over and over and kind of meditate on it to retain it. It's
Right,
repetition.
right,
Is what makes us remember things.
right.
Other hated reading, loved books, audiobooks, and he listened to hundreds and hundreds of them. Dude, he knew so much stuff. Did you listen to that pilot debut episode of Master Race Frankenstein Radio with Jared?
No, I didn't. I need to.
Oh, dude, I just found it like 4 weeks ago. We did this in 2022, I think, back when I was living with him, when my power was off. or maybe, yeah, 2022. And it's really good, man. It's not on YouTube. It's on my rss.com. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send me on the thing. I'll check it out.
Actually, I'll put it in the description. I
Yeah.
need to I need to upload it to YouTube. I can't believe I got a strike.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I tried. I saw a pretty cool cartoon someone made, and it just shows. It's on my YouTube thing, but I got some kind of thing for it. I'm like, how did I get in trouble for this? All I did was put Bob Marley. You watched it. I dubbed that Bob Marley song over the cartoons. And
Yeah.
that's something for that too. It's like, how did I didn't even do anything. I just pressed play.
You pointed at it. You
All
shouldn't
right,
have done that.
all right.
Oh,
That's
dude,
great.
hey, can we talk about you being Japanese?
Absolutely.
Tell me more.
You want to see my rice cooker? I'm just kidding. No, so
Who?
my uncle was born there. My grandpa, he joined the Air Force right after World War II during the Korean War because he assumed he was going to get drafted anyway. So he joined the Air Force and he got stationed in Okinawa. Not Okinawa, I'm sorry, Tsushima, which is like a little island in between, like the big main island of Japan, the Honshu, and the Korean Peninsula. So it's a big enough island where you can see it on a globe, but it's still, a little island. So he was stationed there at a radar station because, Cold War radar. So he met my grandma. My uncle was born there, and then they came back here. And he's from like the mountains in Pennsylvania. He moved down here before this area was built. When they built the steel mill here, they were still making stuff in his country, before our time, right? And then
And then he made a baby with a Japanese woman.
yep,
Yeah.
he's an Italian, so my last name's Tellerico. I have my mom's last name. My dad's last name's Cunningham, so I'm a Irish, Japanese, Italian, American.
Wait. So it's on your dad's side or your mom's
Mom's
side?
side, yeah, my dad's side's all Irish, Irish
Yeah.
German, like from Philly, like a Philly
Yeah.
name,
Yeah. Yeah.
an Irish German neighborhood. And then my mom's Italian and Japanese.
Interesting. And it's her mom that's Japanese.
Yes. Yeah. See, I got a red beard. I got straight black hair.
Yeah. You look like what I imagine the Ainu to look like.
Right. They're the indigenous of the Japanese islands. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Ainu.
Right. At least the Japanese government finally recognized them a few years ago.
Did they? Now
Yeah.
that they're almost all gone.
Right. Right. Now that there's none left, the language is
We
dead.
got rid of you. Now
Right.
you exist now that we got
Right.
rid of you.
Right. And well, Japan's pretty much the West, so what we do, they do. Unfortunately. Yeah, I love.
Is it that way or is it the other way?
I don't know. Good question.
Who was gay first? Japan or the West? Because Japan's got a really advanced level of gay going on.
Yeah.
Is it more? It's way more mainstream just to be girly.
It's weird.
It's
It's weird.
it's weird.
So like the Japanese history is kind of weird. They were like they held off the Mongols 2 times because God looked out for them, I guess, right, with the divine wind, the kamikaze, and then the Jesuits got there and they called it gunpowder diplomacy. That's when we pulled up in our ship and said, hey, you're gonna open up the island and we're gonna blow your shit up. And
Wait, the Jesuits went there?
I think they were trying to keep the Jesuits out, or the Jesuits came in. It was somewhere around the late 1700s, early 1800s. So around the time of what's that movie with Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai? It was that time period. So I guess it's the late 1700s, early 1800s. And then Japan sent all their head scientist people to Germany. Before World War One popped off, the mid 1800s, they sent all their top people there to learn from the best because Germany, that's where all the smart people were doing. They had
Yeah.
they had like an organic chemistry breakthrough in the mid 1850s or something. Like I said, I went down that rabbit hole, and yeah, the next thing you know, World War II, right? They tried taking over. Well, they started taking over Asia before World War II. They were doing that shit after World War One.
I don't know much of Japanese history.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I sh-
there's a world history is crazy. I spent more of my time going down history rabbit holes than I probably should have.
oh shoot! Next time you come on, we need to talk history because I love history.
Yeah, I went down a lot of rabbit holes, but that's the only way you know.
I've been,
I felt for some reason I had a hunch we were getting flim flam, but growing up with my heritage, right? The Italians and the Japanese fought on the German side, and the Irish were neutral. So it's like, why was I at war with myself? Why was my country fighting myself? So I always thought that was kind of weird. We dropped two bombs on myself, so I always wanted to learn the other perspectives, the other
yeah.
sides. So I went down the German side perspective. I went down the Soviets. It's it's not good. World history is terrifying. Why would you read fiction when you could read how crazy we've been for the last 100 years?
Dude, fiction is such a waste of time. People, I don't know. Before, let's say, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, history was, I don't know. I was gonna say boring, not boring, but I didn't. You really don't understand how much there is to know, how much happens.
Right,
You have to. If only people cared to know. It starts with wanting to know. At least for me, how did we get here where we are? I looked around and I'm like, this is all really fucked up. How did we get here? It started with myself because I was a trans woman for 5 years. And I was like, how did this happen to me? What
right,
has happened to the
right,
culture that this has been allowed to happen to me?
right, right.
And that's where my like obsession with history. I always kind of liked history, but that's when I got really obsessed with it.
Well, they pulled this shit to the in the Weimar Republic. They got all wacky and shit too. I'm sure you know that, right?
Yeah, it was just a bunch of whores and pimps and drug
Right,
dealers.
right. It's like
Oh,
now,
hey,
like Philadelphia. Like my whole life, Philadelphia has been exactly the same. It's just debauchery, wide open debauchery. I mean, not everywhere, but the hood, the parts where it's at. There's videos down there, dude. I've been down there, like stuck down there. Like, I mean, I could have came home, but I purposely stayed down there. So I hear you. It is crazy. You know what? I'm getting smoked by mosquitoes. I gotta light a mosquito coil. These suckers are crazy out here this time of year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe not kidnapping, but I've seen some shit. Um, yeah, no, I've never seen anyone get scooped up and taken away against their will. I mean, I've seen some shit. I've
I
seen
think
cops. I've seen cops kidnapped. I mean, I've been kidnapped by the cops plenty of times.
so. You have,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
man, dude. When just talking about the hood reminded me of this one time I went to some new project in New Orleans.
Oh
I don't
wow.
know. It was late. I was 16 years old, and I got mad at my parents, and I was walking to my girlfriend's house, which was maybe like a 3 hour walk away. And I'd been walking for like an hour, and my dad sent one of his workers to come pick me up. But this worker of his, Mr. Tom, he was a crackhead. And
He
Tom
sent the
picked me
crack.
up.
He sent the crackhead after you.
Bruh, he sent the crackhead after me. And look, Tom picked me up when I got out of the tunnel, and he said, my dad, your dad sent me to get you, but first I got to make a run to New Orleans. Don't tell him.
He took you on the run, my man. That's my type of gentleman right there.
Bro, we were in a white van, and I was sitting in the back on the floor, right?
Yes.
We go into New Orleans, into the most sketchy fucking neighborhood I've ever seen. It's
Right.
maybe like 11 o'clock at night, dude.
It's
And
just starting too. They're just crawling out of their cracks at that time.
dude, look, he said, "Stay here. I'll be right back." And he gets out and he goes inside this place, and he gone for like, I don't know, seemed like a long time. Then he come out,
He was in
and
there
then
getting.
this
He was in there taking a puff. You already know what type time he was on.
then a brother came out, and he came in the van and he sat on the floor next to me, and we chatting, and then suddenly the door flies open and another man comes out, and then a woman comes out holding a baby, and she's screaming behind her, I don't care what you say, this my baby, this baby is mine. And she jumped in the van and Tom took off.
Oh my god,
And
I
so
love
I
the
think it seemed like I witnessed these people kidnap a baby.
infant intimidation.
That's what it looked like.
Right, right.
Dude, New Orleans is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's I think the further south you go, the further crazy the hoods get. Just because it's case, I feel like heat is a bad thing in the hood. I don't know.
Heat?
Yeah, like this, the humidity. Like the hotter it is, the more hood it gets. Like think
Why,
of that,
but that
right? Like
makes
you
a
got
lot
New
of
York
sense.
City. Obviously, it's a little better. Then you go to Philly. You got Kensington. Then you got Baltimore. Baltimore is a fucking, that's like a bomb went off down there. And then as you further, then you got Virginia Beach. That's pretty fuck around down there if you want. You know what I mean? And you just keep going further down,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you said you're in New Orleans, right? I don't. That's probably got to be
Oh, bro,
the wildest west,
going outside around this time of year is a lot like swimming. To be honest with you.
right?
Oh, have you seen the movie Baller Blocking?
Mm. Is it
You
new?
know what it is?
Uh.
Dude, uh, Cash Money Records came. They made a movie,
Yes, I gotta
and I
watch.
think was that.
I gotta watch that then.
Yeah, yeah, you got to. Baller Blocking. It came out in like 2001 or something. That's a
That's when
good
they had.
movie.
Is that when they had Dre and Stoop on Cash Money? Was that then, or was that before? Or was that after?
I think that was never.
Didn't Dre or someone do that over there? Didn't someone on Cash Money do something?
I don't remember them ever crossing. I know that I think Lil Wayne. No, no, never mind. No, I never heard about the West crossing with Cash Money. But maybe I don't. I just don't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know. That wasn't my genre, but I thought they did something together. I don't know. It wasn't my cup of
So,
tea.
so what's your genre, or what was it?
I guess Sublime would be my. I didn't even listen to the new Sublime yet, but I like Sublime. Nirvana, like classic rock and '90s grunge.
Okay, cool.
Uh, I listen to all. I listen to it all though. I like reggae, but Sublime would be my thing. I like Modest Mouse at the
Sublime's
drive
cool.
at the drive-in. I don't, just rock, I guess you could say. But I
At the
listen to it all.
drive-in, not a lot of people. I don't hear a lot of people that listen to At the Drive-In.
What? What?
That's good stuff, bro.
What else do you listen to then? If you're not listening, that's what I want to know.
What's that one
Mars
album?
Volta, Mars Volta. I listen to that. Just that type of
Oh,
stuff.
of course you do. That's the same dudes.
Right.
Dude, I need to do some At the Drive-In covers. Free, I forgot about him.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I can't put that on the car when I'm driving, but if I'm riding a bike, I'll put that. I'll put the earbuds in because then I can.
Oh, hey,
I
what?
I have zero self control when I'm listening to that stuff. I just want to wind every gear out.
I understand. My favorite track is Rolodex Propaganda
Yeah, it's a good Jawn.
with Iggy Pop on it. Yeah. Ooh, I've been learning how to play piano.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, you can already play guitar. I got one. I didn't even sat down and tuned it yet. I got one of them. My neighbor got me ordered me a $50 Timu guitar. So I said, here,
wow,
yeah.
bro, it's got to sound really bad.
All right. Well, the strings are trash, but whatever. I gotta learn. I gotta practice my fingers. I don't care what it sounds like, as long as I learn how to use my fingers correctly.
It's easy to do. Just look up the chords, and you'll find pictures of how to hold the strings,
Right,
and then
right,
you just practice it. I learned how to, probably already told you, I learned how to play guitar in a week, just practicing for an hour a day. Like, I literally learned how to play enough guitar to play any song that I wanted to, like most pop songs, in 5 hours.
right. Yeah, because once you get the gist down, so, here's the thing. I'm still learning. You can play one note more than one way too, right? You can hold your finger right. So that's ahead of my.
Look, I got this recently, and it's
Oh,
just a piano chord chart. It just shows you how to. It's
right.
just a picture of how to hold it, and then you can do it. I want to. I'm wanting to play right now, but I can't. It's not good timing.
Yeah, you're not feeling it. Don't feel it. Save it.
No, I
Save.
am feeling it. That's the thing. I'm feeling it,
Well, do
but
it.
I don't want to make this about me playing guitar.
Why not?
Okay.
Do it. I got the phone on the charger. I'm gonna go take a puff. You do it.
Hey, I was gonna do it for you,
I
with
can hear.
you.
I can hear you. I just want to. Well, go. I'll wait then.
Okay, go take a puff.
Yeah, I was gonna take a puff. You can see me do it, but I got my phone on the charger, so I don't want to.
Go do your thing.
I don't want my shit to die on you. That'd be bad, Jawn.
I mean, bad Jawn.
That'd be bad, Jawn. Here I am. I'm back. I can do it. Maybe not.
I don't practice Santeria. Ain't got no crystal ball. I can't play. I don't know all of these chords. I don't want to learn them right now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, well, you have good memorization skills.
I don't practice. I don't. You need to find the tone. I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. I had $1 million, but I spent it all if I could find that honey. That Sancho that she found. La Papa Cap and Sancho, and I smacked her down. I gotta scroll down. But I really wanna know, my baby. But I really wanna say that I can't get it's love that I need. Yeah. My soul will have to wait till I get back to find a honor of my own that is gonna love one and all. Yeah, I feel the break, feel the break, feel the break, and I gotta let it out. Oh yeah, uh-huh. Well, I swear that well, I really wanna know, my baby. But I really gotta say, yes, I'm lost. I can't define. Got gotta make it go, go. My soul have to.
Wait.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can sing better than I can. That's for damn sure.
Thank you.
How long you been doing that for?
Singing
Yeah.
since I was 12. So and I'm 33. It started with Elvis. My dad sings, and he does Elvis and Dean Martin and all that. And I heard the song "In the Ghetto," and I loved it. And I used to jump on my trampoline for hours, just practicing, just trying to sound like Elvis.
Right.
And so I practiced singing like Elvis till I was like 17, and
That's good.
then
It's a good one to practice, right?
yeah, and then I got into a band called Coheed and Cambria. Do you know them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard of him. I never got into him, but I'm familiar.
Claudio Sanchez, the front man, he got this crazy high voice. And at first, when I first heard him, I was like,
Okay.
"Gay, what is this faggot shit you showing me?" But
Right.
then, but then I was like, "Wow, I like that." And then I started singing like him,
Right.
and so, and I sounded bad for like a long time, but it's been 10 years now. My brother used to say, "Shut up, you sound like shit." And I used to say, "Shut up, I'm practicing."
Right.
That's how you sound good. That's how you become good at anything. You gotta practice. You gotta
Right.
sound bad to sound good.
Right. 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 Exactly. Yeah, you gotta work. Yeah, yeah. It's like doing pull-ups. You might not
It's
be
like
able to
doing
pull yourself up at
pull-ups.
the beginning, but you got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Hey,
now I can
speaking
sing,
of
man. It's
Elvis,
my favorite thing to do.
you speaking of
What?
Elvis, you know I love Elvis Costello.
Dude, me too. He's one of my favorites.
Fucking love that dude. I love that shit, dude.
It-
All day long, dude.
That's
You know what turned me
crazy.
on? You know what turned me on to that dude? or turn me on to him too.
Huh?
Little Jewish chick, smoking a little hot Jewish chick. I love, dude. I love. I
So
can't be anti-Semitic. I love Jewish women.
you know the song "You'll Never Be a Man."
What is it?
You'll never be a man.
Maybe not. I my mom gave me my iPod
Oh,
back. My iPad was there for so long, and I just have like so much music dumped on there. So I'll just put the albums on. So I
bro.
think right now, I think the album that I'm on is shit, I could just turn the damn thing on and tell you.
Look, by the way, my phone about to, my phone's about to die. My dog ate the charger, so we're
Oh
gonna
right,
have
yeah,
to
you
wrap it
should.
up shortly.
Yeah, we gotta go. You gotta go, motherfucker.
But oh wait, let's see if I could play this song for you, dude. You'll okay. So he's got a song called "You'll Never Be a Man," and it sounds to me like he's singing it to the Jewish people. That's how it sounds to me. Let's
Play it.
see.
I want to hear it because it's he's the fucking man.
I hope I could play these chords.
I love the Beastie Boys too. I know you love the Beastie Boys.
Nah, I ain't into that.
Really?
Not, no, I'm
Nah,
not. I'm not.
I know why. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this.
Shoot.
You need, you need, you need protection. You need protection from the physical art of conversation. Though the fist is mightier than the lip, it adds the aggravation. Let's see. I never played this before. I've got the password. I've got persuasion. A
Sounds like.
proposition for invasion of your privacy. Give yourself away, give yourself away, and find the fake in me. You'll never be a man, no matter how many foreign bodies you can take. You can take. Fuck. What is it? You'll never be a man, no matter how many foreign bodies you can take. You'll never be a man. When you're half a woman and you're half awake, a face full of tears in a chemical shake. Use a half a chance that I'm butchering it. Look it up.
Right, but I can understand why you think he's singing that to his own people.
Like he says, you'll never be a man, no matter how many foreign bodies you can take. You'll never be a man when you're half a woman and you're half awake. A face full of tears and a chemical shake. You've a half a chance that I can take. Are you so superior? Are you in such pain? Are you made out of porcelain? When they made you, they broke the cast. Don't wanna be first, I just wanna live. He's Irish, you know.
Yeah, I looked up his thing just because I forget what it was, but I went on a run. I thought every single person we ever listened to and loved was part of this cult. I went down that rabbit hole, but it's
No, he's an Irish. He's an Irish Jew.
yeah, it's people
Okay, good.
something like that. But
Okay,
here
let me show you something real quick.
these are the I got two albums on there. I got My Aim Is True, and
That's
then
good.
that is real good. It's real good. And then some other one with the Armed Forces or Elvis. This is with the Attractions, so it's called the Armed Forces. I never listened to this one yet because I'm stuck on the other one. I can listen to that. My Aim Is True all
Dude,
day.
that's probably my favorite one.
I can listen to that all day long from top to bottom and just go.
That's the one with Allison. That's where
Yep,
that's a lyric
yep,
from Allison.
yep. That's my little sister's name too. Ain't that crazy? Freaking crazy, crazy. It's like dumb little stuff like that. That's not dumb, but I get it. I get aroused at it.
All right, look. Let's wrap it up. I want to show you my hat real quick. Can you read it?
Brave.
Okay, so in Hebrew, the letter bet, which is where we get our letter B from, in
Okay.
modern Hebrew, they pronounce it as a V, and it's often transliterated as a B.
Okay.
And the E in modern Hebrew, okay, so E and A are often interchangeable.
Right,
So
right.
anyway, my point is that I got this hat because I see Bar Abba. BR BR is bar, son. Abba is
Right,
father. So Brave, when I see Brave, I think Bar Abba,
right, right, right.
the son of Jesus Christ.
I dig it. And the colors are interesting too. I dig the color scheme.
Do you really red, white, and blue?
Yeah, why not? Hey, listen, we were
I
born
got
here.
it on the 4th of July.
Even better. Listen, we can't control what happened before we got here. All we can control is what we do while we're here.
Amen, my brother.
Right?
Well,
Right.
hey, thank you for hanging out with me tonight, man. It's been a
Oh,
pleasure.
no doubt. I hopefully, hopefully I didn't, whatever. Hopefully it was good. Hopefully it was a good one.
It was, dude. It was really good, and I look forward to freaking doing it with you again. I'll
Yeah, we'll
talk to
do
you
it again.
soon.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I'm gonna send you a bunch of music. I'm gonna make you a playlist. I didn't
Yeah,
know
send
you
me
were this
some stuff.
eclectic.
Send me some stuff, and I'll think of some other questions to ask you that can be good questions.
Right on, brother.
All right,
Likewise. Have a good one.
all right. Night, night.
Night
Later on.
night. That was Mr. J, treeLiter. What a guy. Love you, brothers and sisters. Talk to you later. Bye.